My name's Debbie Sowter and I'm a vocal animateur and a music specialist. And I've been teaching in schools and I've been teaching around local communities for many, many years now. And some of the really important things that I've noticed is the impact that music and singing has on our overall health and well-being. And it became really, really noticeable. And when people used to leave my singing groups and things, how they were just full of so much positive energy by the time we'd finished. And there was a lot of calmness as well with that, depending on the session and what music we used and what songs we were singing, how it actually affected people in so many different positive ways. And I became really, really interested in this subject. So a few years ago, I enrolled in a course with Chichester University and BAST, which is the British Academy of Sound Therapy. And I started to look into the scientific aspects of what was it about this music and singing, what was it that would affect us so greatly. And so I found out by doing this course that vowel sounds actually can have different effects on different parts of our bodies, harmonics also, and breathing obviously has a really, really good effect on our bodies too. So I'd like to share some of these things that I learned with you. Some of the breathing techniques as well we do movements with, because that can actually magnify the effect of that on us. So we will go through those a bit later on. But first of all, what I'd like you to do, we're just going to get ourselves into a position that's really comfortable, a standing position. And I'd just like you to stand with your feet shoulder width apart. So think of where your shoulders are and bring your feet in alignment with your shoulders. And first of all, before we do anything else, I'd just like you to give yourself a little hug. And just think about how that feels as you're doing it. Okay. So just stand with your feet shoulder width apart, arms down by your side. And you can either close your eyes for this part, or you can keep your eyes open. If you do close your eyes, just make sure that you're a little bit close by to something in case you start to lose your balance, or open your eyes straight away if you find that's beginning to happen. So I'd just like you to really feel grounded, ground yourself by pressing your feet firmly into the floor. And think about where you're putting the most weight. And just roll back on your heels and roll forwards on your toes. Roll back on your heels, roll forward on your toes. Roll back, roll forward. And just make that roll forward, roll back less and less and less until you come to a standing position. And just feel where you're putting the most weight. Is it on the balls of your feet? Is it on your heels? And sometimes it does help if we close our eyes for this bit. And just feel. If you're putting the most weight on your heels, then move the weight forward slightly. If you're putting most of the weight on the balls of your feet, and just move back slightly. And just breathe. Pressing your feet firmly into the floor. And then when you're ready, just slowly open your eyes. Good. Okay. So, think about a piece of cord that's going from the bottom of your spine right the way up from the top of your head. You're just going to pull that up and then release. Keep breathing. your shoulders forward. And roll back. And just make sure your knees are on the top of your hip as well. Roll back. Roll forward, keep breathing. Just loosen your arms a little bit more. And roll back. So just dip your head and you're going to roll your head over your right shoulder halfway. And then roll back over your right shoulder. Down. Roll round over the left shoulder. Slowly. Up. Roll back down the left shoulder. Over the right shoulder. Back over the right shoulder. Over the left shoulder. Back down. And slowly, bit by bit, lift your head. Shoulders relax. Roll back round. So we're just going to open up the diaphragm now by doing this little exercise. So our diaphragm is a dome-like muscle that is at the bottom of our rib cage. So when we inhale, our diaphragm moves downwards. So we're just going to open that up, and that will support our lungs. So we're just going to bring our right hand around our waist. We're going to look over the left shoulder and then just slowly move back. We're going to go the other way. Look over your right shoulder and slowly come back, moving your arms around your waist. As we move around this time, I'd like you to take a breath in through your nose and release through your mouth. Round the other way. Breathe in. Breathe out. And we're going to keep that movement nice and fluid. Here we go. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good. Just roll your shoulders forward again and back again. If you start to feel a little bit dizzy, which you might do through some of these breathing exercises we're about to do, I suggest you do them sat down on the chair, or you can even lie down on the floor. Okay, and then start, if you feel a little bit dizzy, just take a few natural breaths. So we've spoken about our diaphragm being the dome-shaped muscle that sits at the bottom of our rib cage. And if you put your hands around your waist, and I call these my second fingers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's my second fingers, but your index fingers will just touch the bottom ribs. And that is where our diaphragm sits. So when we're doing diaphragm breathing, very often, naturally we do very, very shallow breathing, which isn't particularly healthy. So diaphragm breathing is so good for relaxing. So we also call it belly breathing. So when we breathe in, our tummy comes out. And when we breathe out, we pull our tummy muscles back in. So we're going to try a few of those. Remember, if you feel that you need to sit down, please do. Or you can even lie down on the floor and do some of these as well. So we're going to stand, feet firmly on the floor. We're going to do 5 diaphragm breaths. Shoulders relaxed, knees unlocked. Here we go. Breathe in. Breathe out. Remember, your tummy should come out as you breathe in, and you pull, as you're exhaling, you're pulling your tummy muscles in. Here we go again. Breathe in. Breathe out. So in through the nose, out through the mouth. Here we go. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And one more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good. And just give your body a little shake. Just shake it all up. Okay, so the advantages of deep breathing are things like reduced anxiety, better sleep, connects our brain to our bodies, strengthens our lung capacities, it promotes relaxation, it's a natural painkiller. I'm just going to go through a few more. It improves our blood flow and digestion, increases our energy levels, can reduce inflammation, can stimulate our lymphatic system. So there's all different things that these breathing exercises can help us with. So I'm just going to talk you through an exercise called the 4-7-8 breathing exercise. This is breathing for anxiety. So it can help with reducing anxiety, help you with sleep, managing cravings. It can also control and reduce some anger responses. So before we start, again, it might be a good idea if you sit down for this one. So hoping you can see me okay. So first of all, we're going to empty our lungs full of air. Just empty, let the air come out through your mouth. So that's our starting position. Sit up nice and straight as well. So again, just think about emptying all your lungs full of air. And already that feels quite good. So we're going to breathe in very quietly through the nose for a count of 4. So let's try that first of all. We're going to empty our lungs full of air. Then we're going to breathe in through our nose through a count of 4. So empty our lungs. Breathe in. I'll do that again. Empty your lungs. Breathe in. And then just take a few natural breaths. So we're still going through learning the process of the 4-7-8 technique. So then we're going to hold our breath for 7 counts. So we're getting rid of all the air first, breathing in through our nose for 4 counts, hold it for 7, and then we're going to exhale through the mouth for 8 counts, just kind of pursing the lips and making a whoosh kind of sound for 8 seconds. So let's just go through that again. We're going to empty our lungs full of air. Inhale through the nose for 4 counts. Hold it for 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale for 8 counts. And relax. We're going to repeat that cycle 4 times. 4 times. I would suggest with this, I wouldn't do this for any more than 4 times a day. I repeat the cycle 4 times a day, but I would not do it any more than that. If after a month, once you've practiced it for about a month, you can go up to doing that cycle 8 times. But please don't, I wouldn't do that any more than that. Okay, and you start to feel, you can do this at any time of the day and you will start to feel your anxiety reducing. So let's try it again. We're going to try the cycle 4 times. So it's the 4-7-8 breathing technique. So we empty our lungs full of air. We inhale through the nose for 4 counts. We hold our breath for 7 seconds, 7 counts. And then we exhale through the mouth, making a whoosh sound for 8 counts. Okay, so here's cycle 1. Empty your lungs. Breathe in through the nose. Hold. Exhale. Empty your lungs. Breathe in. Hold. Exhale. Breathe all the air. Breathe in. Hold. Exhale. Last cycle. Get rid of all the air. Breathe in. Hold. Exhale. Lovely. And just relax. Okay. Good. So just take a few natural breaths. If you're feeling dizzy, just sit down for a moment and just relax. Hopefully you can already feel that anxiety slowly releasing. Okay, so you can stand up for this one or you can remain sitting. So I'm just going to show you this one very quickly as well. This is Nadi Shodhana technique. It's also known as alternate nostril breathing. So it's a very simple breath technique which has an abundance of benefits. So again, it's a connector of the brain and body. It's a really nice tool to cure headaches, actually, this one, and to reduce anxiety. I would say, actually, on this one, we're going to sit down again. If you find yourself in a really nice, comfortable position, you can sit down like this. And we're just going to roll up through the spine. So put your head down and just roll your neck up. Inhale and exhale. Notice your breath. Roll down. Inhale. Roll up. Exhale. Roll down. Okay. So, whatever hand you write with, if you're right-handed or left-handed, use that hand on this one. So what we're going to do, this is quite tricky actually, so I'm just going to number my fingers. I'm right-handed, so I'm using my right hand. So I'm going to number my fingers. My thumb's number 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my pinky's number 5, so your thumb's number 1. And we're just going to bring your second and third finger, your index finger and middle finger down like that. Quite tricky to do. I have to force it down like that to do that. If you can't do it, don't worry. You can just use our thumb and our finger, our thumb and our pinky. Yeah. So what we're going to do, we're going to bring our right thumb to our right nostril, like that. It's okay if you get the giggles, by the way, during this. It's absolutely fine, because that will give you a sense of release, and that's fantastic. Yeah. So I always get the giggles doing some of these exercises as well, so that's fine. So you're going to put your thumb on your right nostril, like that. You're going to bring your thumb to your right nostril, and you're going to inhale through the left nostril. So inhale. So we've sealed the right nostril with our thumb. Breathe in through our left. And then we're going to pause that. We're going to pause it. So breathe in, pause, and then we're going to seal the left nostril. And I'm going to speak like that. Yeah, with our ring finger. Let go of your thumb, and exhale through the right nostril. We're going to breathe in through the right nostril. Seal it with the thumb. Exhale through the left. Breathe in through the left. seal it with our our ring finger. Exhale through the right. Breathe in through the right. Seal with the thumb. Breathe out through the left. Breathe in through the left. And it goes on like that. And you can do as many of those as you feel that you'd like to. It always makes me giggle when I do that one, so don't worry about that one. Okay, if you find you get the giggles, absolutely fine. So there are a few breathing techniques that you can use. I'm now going to go on to showing you some videos using some of the vowel sounds and some of the movements that we do with those vowel sounds. Okay, and I will see you in a bit. I'm now going to take you through the vowel sounds. Before I do, I just want to explain a little bit about how the vowel sounds are connected to energy centres in our bodies. Those of you that have done a lot of chakra work will know about the different energy centres. For those of you that are trying new things, I'll just explain very, very quickly what the chakras are. So they are different energy centres in our body, and the first chakra is called the root chakra, and that's just at the base of the spine. That's where that's situated, and that promotes grounding. The second chakra is called the sacral chakra, and that's in the lower abdomen area, and that's 2 inches just below the navel, and that gives us a sense of well-being. So when we need to feel a good sense of well-being in ourselves, that's the area that we work on, and I can give you the vowel sound and later on the movement that goes with that to increase and work on that energy in your body. The next area is called the solar plexus. That's in the upper abdomen, and that promotes confidence and self-worth. So if you're feeling a bit nervous about something, a project that's coming up or a situation that's arose, and you want to give yourself a bit more confidence, if you practice one of the exercises that I'm going to give you a bit later with the movement for 5 minutes a day, maybe for a week, however long you need to, you'll start to see an improvement, a gradual improvement in that area, hopefully. Not always, okay, but very often, yeah, you'll start to see some changes. The next energy centre is the heart, which is in the centre of the chest, and that works on compassion and empathy and opening up. So that's really good. If you're creative and you're maybe either songwriting, writing poetry, writing stories, doing some art, and you've got a blockage, sometimes we get these things called creative blocks and we just can't get past them. This is another good exercise that you can do, practice for 5 minutes a day, and you'll find that creativity will start to open up. The next one is the throat chakra. So this is about, it's quite obvious, this one is about communication. It's also about truth and self-expression. So if again that you're finding, it could be a physical problem, it could be, I don't know, I can't hit that note in singing, my voice is shaking when I'm public speaking or something. Sometimes if we do this exercise, this will help release whatever's there, that blockage. The next one is called the third eye, and that's between our brows, and that works on imagination and intuition. So again, if you want to increase your creativity, you can work on that chakra and that the vowel sound I'm going to give for you to work on. And the last one is called the crown, which is the top of the head, and that really works on our inner and outer beauty. So they're the 7 chakras that are kind of linked in with the vowel sounds that we're using. So I'm going to go through the vowel sounds quickly with you, and you can practice these, and you can choose any note that you want, any note that comes to you straight away. It doesn't have to be a specific note, just anything. I would probably go for a low note, because that gives a sense of comfort, really. I think when you're singing low notes, it puts us at ease, so singing a low note would be better. So the first vowel sound is the vowel sound, and that works on the root, the grounding. So, you can choose any note. I'm going to start down there, but you can choose anything you like. Anything you like. So, I'm going to go down there. So it's on the So I'm going to go through them once, but you can do them maybe 5 times. So remember your diaphragm breathing. Breathe in through the nose, or through the mouth if you want to take more air in. Sit up nice and straight. When you breathe in, your tummy should go out. When you breathe, when you let the air out and the sound out, you pull your tummy muscles back in. Try not to focus on that too much, just let it come naturally. So this is And you'll notice I had some really odd notes in there. I wasn't spot on at all. And that's okay, yeah? And that's where there's different things happening in your body, releases tension, all sorts of anxiety, whatever it is, that's where that's kind of fluctuating, yeah? And as you work on that vowel sound more, the more level it will become, yeah? So the next one is ooh. So you can go a bit higher if you want, ooh, if you want to, yeah? So nice deep breath in. Really feel in your body what's happening. Feel where the tension is, yeah? And you might find that when you start singing these vowel sounds, you start reflecting on it and go, oh, what's happening there? That's a bit strange. Oh yeah, that made me think of that, and that made me think of that. Really have a think about it. The next one is the O, which works on the solar plexus, the upper abdomen. O, yeah. So we're going to go through that. Nice deep breath in. Don't worry if you start laughing, you start getting the giggles, that's absolutely fine. That's release, so that's fine. The next one is R, which works on the chest and heart area. R, you might want to go up a bit or you may want to go down, it's up to you. So R. You may find that you might sing some vowel sounds better than others, and that's worth taking a note of as well, because there may be something there, an underlying something or other with you, an anxiety or something that you hadn't thought of, that you suddenly realise, actually I need to work on that. Yeah. The next one is I, which is the throat chakra. I am going to do it on the same note. So again, if you've got any problems in the throat area, good one to work on really gently. And you can actually feel the vibration here when you're singing that one. And the next one is the third eye, which is A. So this works again on your imagination, intuition, so it's A. And the final one is the E, which is working on inner and outer beauty. Maybe I might go a bit higher on that one. Nice deep breath in. E. could feel some real kind of around the back of my head tension and the note not coming out. So I need to work on that one. I also need to work on my grounding vowel sound as well, because that was very, very wobbly. So I really need to work on that one. So the 7 vowel sounds that we're going to be working on next with our movements are oo, o, r, I, a, e. Okay. So have fun with the next part of this video. Just as again I say, if you start giggles, fine, absolutely fine. Give it a go, keep trying with it. See you soon. So today we're going to be working on 2 vowel sounds, the vowel sound and the oo sound. So we're going to start with the and this is all about grounding and rooting ourselves in the earth. So we have the sound as in earth. So this is working from the lower part of the body and the legs. So we're going to stand with our legs shoulder width apart and our knees nice and soft, as in a Tai Chi position. And we're going to place our palms face down at waist height, and imagine that you can feel a little bit of resistance there. So you can feel the energy of the earth. Almost a little bit like a spongy feeling. So we're going to start at waist height and push down. And again. So the second vowel sound we're going to do is oo, and this is all about flexibility, and it's the hips and the lower back area, and we're going to create a figure of 8 movement with our hands. So again, we're going to keep our hips and our knees nice and flexible, but again we're going to feel that little bit of resistance as we make that figure of 8 movement with our hands. And as you're making that figure of 8 movement, again you can look over the shoulder, create that flexibility. So there's our first 2 vowel sounds for today, the and the oo. So our next 2 vowel sounds are the O and the R. So the O is working on the solar plexus area, and it's the natural area where we kind of want to protect. So if we're feeling vulnerable, this is a really good vowel sound and movement to use, and it's about stepping in to our power. So again, think feet shoulder width apart and knees nice and flexible, and keep our shoulders down, and we're going to keep facing forward, and we're just going to step forward, drop our shoulders and bring our arms round like an embrace. And again. And the next vowel sound we're going to do is R, and this works on the heart and chest area, and it's about opening the heart and chest expansion. So it's kind of the opposite, and this time we're going to take a step back. So we're opening up. We're going to step back. Again, keep your knees flexible, shoulders down, and your head forward. Try not to lift your head up as we make the R sound. So feet shoulder width apart. And we're going to open up from the heart. And again. There's our two vowel sounds, O and R. So the next two vowel sounds we're going to be working on are I and A. So I works all around the throat area, and this is about speaking our truth, being in alignment with who we are. So again, we're going to stand up nice and straight, our feet shoulder width apart. And our hands are going to be in hand prayer position. As one hand goes up, the other hand goes down. Whichever hand is more comfortable for you to start with. And as you go down, you just bend your knees to sit down. Let's just try that again. So try and keep your body nice and straight. As one hand goes up, the other hand goes down. And just go down into a sitting position. So this is vowel sound I. The next vowel sound is A, and this is the sound that comes from this area here, the brow sound, and it's the eyes, the nose and the sinuses, and it's thinking about what our path is ahead. So we're extending our vision outwards. So our hands are here, and as we bring our vision out, our arms straighten out, but without tension. Again, we're just going to bend our knees a little bit. So there are our vowel sounds I and A. The final vowel sound we're going to be working on with the movement is the E sound, and this comes from the head area, and you can feel the vibration in your head as you're talking, and it's all about stimulating the mind, improving your concentration, giving you more clarity, and giving you more energy. So it goes from down to up. So again, it's this prayer position where we have that space in between our hands. Just again, nice soft knees. And we start down, but then we go up. And at the very, very end, we sit down. So we start down, shoulders down, soft knees. And the sitting down at the end is about grounding ourselves, making ourselves feel rooted. So there's our final vowel sound and movement, E. I'm going to do a vocal warm-up exercise now. It's called Copper Kettles, and it's a really good one because it helps with our breathing, but it also links our head voice with our chest voice. So it's quite tricky. It's a bit of a tongue twister. So if you listen first and then copy. So it goes, copper kettles carry comfort, curing coughs and colds. So putting that together in one breath, it goes, copper kettles carry comfort, curing coughs and colds. Your turn. Yeah, and we're going to repeat that twice, and we're not going to snatch a breath in the middle. So it goes, copper kettles carry comfort, curing coughs and colds. Copper kettles carry comfort, curing coughs and colds. So we don't take a breath in the middle. So we'll try that together. Ready? Off we go. Copper kettles carry comfort, curing coughs and colds. Copper kettles carry comfort, curing coughs and colds. And if you want, you can write those words down, okay? Because it took me a while to remember them as well. The melody goes like this. Have a little listen. Okay, I might go a bit lower actually. Putting it together with the words, it goes like this. Copper kettles carry comfort, curing coughs and colds. Copper kettles carry comfort, curing coughs and colds. And we'll try that together. Ready, off we go. Copper kettles carry comfort, curing coughs and colds. Copper kettles carry comfort, curing coughs and colds. And we're going to go up a little bit this time. Ready, nice deep breath before you start from the diaphragm. Ready, off we go. Copper kettles carry comfort, curing coughs and colds. Copper kettles carry comfort, curing coughs and colds. And we'll go up one more. Ready, nice deep breath before we start from the diaphragm. Off we go. Copper kettles carry comfort, curing coughs and colds. Copper kettles carry comfort, curing coughs and colds. Well done. And finally, I'd just like to thank you very much for joining me. Those exercises, give them a try for 5 minutes a day and see how you get on. Try some of the breathing exercises and maybe the vocal warm-up that you've just heard, Copper Kettles, and have fun with it. Okay. Take care, everybody.